Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am here to tell you sometimes you have to just let your hair down and just go with the flow. I was so fortunate. I have a dear, dear friend who is also my soror who invited me to the Legacy Tour that was taking place here in Charlotte, North Carolina on Friday. She had invited me to go to this concert with her at the beginning of the week. I didn't even know it was coming to town. I don't follow events and things like that. It's just I look up and I know that all the time there's going to be something going on. So when she invited me, I was really happy to hear who the lineup was going to be. It was Tank, Guy, Keith Sweat, and New Edition. So she had me at New Edition. Growing up, when New Edition first came out around 1983, 84, I never missed a concert. I went to a concert of New Editions every year through college, from the eighth, ninth grade through college. And then even as an adult, I would go to different events like the Essence Festival or something like that, and I would see them in concert. I adore New Edition. Even as a grown woman, just seeing them grow and progress and still remain classic, it's so good to see, and to hear their voices sounding not the same, but just as good. And so I was like, yes, sign me up, put me down. I'm there with you. And so we went, and I was so surprised because yesterday morning, one of my line sisters, one of my SANs, my sorors that I pledged with, she had texted me and said, hey, I'm going to be in Charlotte. She lives in Pittsburgh. I'm flying in. I'm going to the New Edition concert. What you doing? And I was like, I'm going to the New Edition concert too. So that turned out so well. And we weren't sitting too far from each other. But let me tell you, that concert, first of all, Tank has a new fan. Yes, he does. He looked and sounded amazing. I was shocked. I always listened to Tank back in the day, but I never really paid attention to him. There were so many other great singers during his time, but Tank has stood the test of time for sure. Guy, oh, I have such great memories of Guy, especially with Aaron Hall, just living in Harmon Cove and just experiencing him. He helped me train our boxer back in the day. And, just seeing Guy performing together was a treat. And Keith Sweat, he was something else. I was looking at him a little side-eyed. I mean, you see performers taking drinks, they're sipping from a cup. You low-key assume it's water, but it's probably something else. But he was straight up with it. He was like, listen, I need a drink of Hennessy right about now. They brought it out to him. He drank it. And I don't know. I was just feeling some kind of way. I mean, we were all grown in there, but I don't know. That was just very interesting, especially when I heard about how he performed at the Pass the Mic back when, we was doing those virtual concerts or virtual tag team type of things that performers were doing against each other. And I think with him and Bobby Brown, someone was saying how drunk he was during his Pass the Mic. So to hear him say, I needed some Hennessy, and I'm thinking, first of all, you're singing, you're sweating, you are exerting energy. I'm sure you probably really do need water to hydrate yourself, and all that Hennessy is going to do is dehydrate you. But to each his own. He still sounded well. He looked really good, though. To be 61, Keith Sweat is 61 years old. I was like, what? But, we're all getting up there. And then when New Edition came on, first of all, what they had on looked so sharp. They had on these bright yellow blazers and black sequins pants, but not all of them had sequins. I noticed Johnny Gill didn't have sequins in his pants or on his pants, but they did so well. And Bobby Brown definitely lost a step. Well, he didn't just lose a step. He lost all steps. Just remembering how he used to just hop around the stage and dance, just dance, and just so much energy, and taking his shirt off and doing all kinds of crazy things that was getting him in trouble on stage. And to see how slow he was, and he still sounded great. He sounded great, but he had to tap out of a lot of the performances. I want to say at least every other song he had to go off stage, and I get it. I commend him for even being able to go on stage to perform, especially since having had a heart attack. That's definitely nothing to play with. I was just looking at him thinking, I'm sure your doctor does not agree with this, but he definitely was taking one for the team, and the whole group was so supportive of him. You know, I could tell that there were moments that they were taking up for him and stepping in for him, even when that part probably was for him to do, but they definitely were there for full support. Let me turn this up a little bit. Okay. I guess my light is getting ready to go down. Let me see if I can get some more light in here. All right. But at any rate, the concert started at 7:30 and it was over at like, I don't know, 11:30, quarter to 12. It definitely was worth every dime, and there was not a bad seat in the house. Just being in the building among that energy was everything. Everyone there was so supportive. The energy was high. The people were so nostalgic. You could tell, you know, the homegirls that were there, their group, their crew, people rooting for their favorite New Edition person. You know, Ronnie, I think hands down, I know I'm a big Ronnie fan. There were many women there that were as well. And, you know, then the couples that were there reminiscing from the love songs from Tank and Keith Sweat and Guy. And it was just so good. I really felt like I was a Candy girl all over again. I definitely felt like, you know, a teenager. I was so excited. And to see my line sister, I hadn't seen her in years, and to be there with my soror, who's one of the nicest people that I've met in this decade, you know, it was just a great evening. I ended up not getting home until like 2:30 or so in the morning, you know, trying to find something to eat. So that's the thing. You know, Charlotte is a growing city. It's the 15th fastest growing city, but it is still not city life. We went to Crave, which is a restaurant. It's like a hookah bar, but it's also desserts. They have entrees as well. And it's just a really nice ambiance. And I was thinking, you know, this would be a good spot to go after the concert. We got there at like 12:20, literally at 12:20, and the hostess said, I'm sorry, we're not serving anymore. We stopped at 12:15. 12:15, are you serious? 5 minutes ago? And literally we got turned around for about 5 minutes. So we would have been there by 12:15. And so then we was thinking about someplace else, and the line was out the door down a little bit. And it was so cold last night. And then we went to another place and the line was out the door. There's very few places after midnight in Charlotte. And it was a Friday night, but there's very few places that are available. It's so dark. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. It is so dark now. Let me try and turn some more lighting. All right, that's a little better. Oh, it's a little bit better. But yeah, you know, there's very few places, and I'm used to being in